We've been getting asked a lot of questions on how to keep celery fresh longer, so we decided to make a video for you today. If you're just meeting me, my name is Amy Cross, and this is the Cross Legacy, where I teach you how to save money on groceries. And one of those ways is by reducing your produce waste. I actually had a TED Talk teaching about my produce tips, and I'm a best-selling author of the Zero Waste Produce Guide, which goes A through Z through 75 produce items and how to keep them fresh longer. Celery is one of those items that I'm making sure that I'm checking thoroughly when I bring it home, so there's nothing hidden inside of the little crevices. So when I bring it home from the grocery store, I am cutting off the root end of it and I am soaking it in water. Oftentimes I will use a stock pot for this, or a large pan, instead of a bowl of water because it fits in there better. But you can also just go ahead and chop it up smaller to fit in the bowl. I use 5% distilled white vinegar to clean celery, which is 1/4 cup of vinegar to 10 cups of water. And you want to make sure that you soak that thoroughly. Now, it seems like there is so much dirt that comes off of the stalks. I make sure that I rinse it after I do that 2-minute soak, and that way any of those lifted pieces of dirt get rinsed off. And then I'm going to lay it out on the towel to dry until it's completely dry. Now, celery is one of those items that if you might have forgot about it in the refrigerator and it's getting a little limp, you can actually cut off 1/4 inch of the bottom of the stalk, which will open up the vascular system of the plant, and put it in a glass of water with filtered water, water that you would want to drink, and it will soak back up into the stalk and make it firm again. So that is a great way to refresh this. You can do the same thing with carrots and put them in a large bowl with the filtered water. You want to make sure that it's not your tap water if your tap water has a bunch of chlorine in it, because then your produce item will end up tasting like chlorine also. And I had somebody ask me the other day about some lettuce, and since I'm filming this today about celery, it's kind of the same thing, so I want to talk about it. But sometimes the ends can look a little dried or get like a little red color that kind of looks like a rust color. That's just oxidation, and you can just trim a little bit of it off and it's perfectly fine to eat the rest of it. So sometimes you'll see that at the bottom of your lettuce that will happen, but oftentimes also on celery. Celery is one of the items that I always keep cut up in a glass container in the refrigerator, normally with some carrots too. I can store them in the same like Pyrex Snapware container or in a glass jar with the metal lid, and they will stay crunchy for a month. And if I want to make them smaller, it's super easy then to go and chop them into smaller diced pieces. Now, I only go grocery shopping once every 3 to 4 weeks, and sometimes we have extra produce left over before we go grocery shopping again. This is one item that if I still have some celery left over, I will put into the freezer, and then I can add that from the freezer into any kind of recipe. When I'm cleaning up the celery, I also keep any of the extra tops, and I put that in a bag and keep those in the freezer when I'm going to make stock. If you're interested in making your own homemade chicken stock or beef broth, we have videos for that here on the channel, so make sure that you're checking it out. About 3 o'clock here in the afternoon, it used to be when the kids got off the school bus. Now it seems like right when Mike is getting off work. I am pulling out vegetables all of the time, and normally a different dip every week. So right now we either have avocado ranch, or I even have a Catalina dressing that we've been using to have our like after school snacks, even though we don't have school age kids here right now. I love doing this before dinner, knowing that there are some vegetables set out with some homemade dips that have extra protein in them. This has just became our habit to get some extra protein and also some more veggies in before we have dinner. So in our house, snacks come from the fridge, and eating a rainbow every day is really important. Our Zero Waste Produce Guide and the Meal Planner is on a special discount here for YouTube. It is linked in the description, so make sure that you're checking that out. And also hit subscribe. We answer every single question that we see that comes through on YouTube, so make sure you're asking questions and commenting, and I look forward to answering them.